Okay, let's hope this video goes better than the last one. It did not record sound for some reason. I don't know why that is, but we are here, so let's go with it. I have to record a new one. I want to talk today about the dollar bill and why I am fairly confident that it is going to crash. Probably along with the rest of the United States, we probably won't be the leading empire around. It'll probably be China, but mainly talking about the dollar bill and why it's going to crash. Now, biggest reason for this is, let's just start off with what's happened since 2020. From January of 2020 to January of 2021, the United States printed 40% of all the money that has ever been in circulation. 40%. So, all the money ever printed, ever, 40% done in that 1 year. Now it has been a second year, and the results are in. So, since 2020, of January of 2020 to January of 2022, the United States has printed 80% of all the currency that is currently out there in the world in those 2 years. 80%, 2 years. That is fucking crazy. Like, that alone will destabilize a country. And where did this money come from? You know, was it just sitting in someone's bank account that they didn't know about? No, of course not. The government just printed more money because they have the power to do so. And that is precisely the problem. And that's why it's not going to be around much longer. I will include a link in this video, in the description. And it's an hour-long video talking all about this. And I know a lot of my stuff is cryptocurrency related, and I will talk about that as well. But this video doesn't even mention cryptocurrency. It is strictly about the dollar bill, how it came to be, why it's going to crash, and then why gold and silver should be the assets that you are investing in. And I agree, those two are, I mean, they're hard physical assets. It's not the dollar, it's a worldwide accepted currency. You should definitely have some of that in stock. I just happen to think that cryptocurrency, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum are the next gold and silver. You know, that's the future. That's the direction that we're moving in. So you should get invested in that. We'll talk more about that later. But China, for example, is preparing for this. They already know what's going to happen. Same thing with Russia. So China created its own cryptocurrency as a way of replacing the dollar economy. What a lot of people don't know is the dollar is the world's currency. Like, it's the world's reserve currency, I should say, rather. You know, all of these other countries are all backed by the dollar. So when the dollar fails, a lot of these other countries are going to fail as well. But things like China, places like China and Russia, they'll have things in play to be able to bounce back from that a lot more easily. China, like I said, having their own cryptocurrency. Russia is going back to the gold standard. They've been pulling planes of gold back from Sweden. They have actually just crossed the point where they have more gold in their reserves than they do for the United States dollar. So when it crashes, they'll be able to use gold as their national currency again. I'm sure they'll come up with their own cryptocurrency once they get with the program, but that's what it's looking like for now. And then what else is going on with China and Russia? I mean, China is almost on the verge of invading Taiwan, I don't know how to say it, pronounce it properly, but that's going on, which, you know, again, a country that the United States is backed, so we would probably have to step in, and now you're looking at another world war. Or Russia against Ukraine, I think it is, that they have, like, troops all along the border ready to invade, basically, and they're probably going to, which I'm pretty sure the United States is an ally of Ukraine, so we would have to step in for that, and then boom, another world war. So I really hope that doesn't happen, because that could end much worse than just the economy collapsing. But again, real world possibility, so let's not be ignorant to it. But we're not going to talk about that part. We're going to strictly just keep talking about the dollar, why that will crash, while gold and silver will be a good replacement, and why Bitcoin and Ethereum will probably be the best replacement. So the video that I linked, it will describe to you, in the very beginning, the difference between money and currency. Just to sum it up pretty quick, we used to have money. Money is the dollar bill when it's backed by gold, and then Nixon took us off the gold standard because all these other countries were trying to pull their gold out instead of having the dollar because they weren't trusting in it. So instead of having run on all the gold reserves, we took ourselves off the gold standard, said, no, you cannot take out gold in exchange for cash anymore. And when he did that, he created something called Fiat Currency. And for all intents and purposes, that is just magic money, magic internet money, if you want, if you will. The Federal Reserve just types in some numbers on a computer and prints out more of it. To pay those off, or to make somehow with that, they sell bonds, which are basically like IOUs to these other countries or other people. And again, like in the video, they'll describe that a lot more. This is just kind of a simple overview, but that's how they make money. So they have a bunch of these IOUs out there, then they're accruing debt, because the debt, I mean, the IOUs are saying we're going to pay you back what you gave us plus some interest on top of that, so the debt just keeps going up and up and up, and then therefore inflation will keep rising. So that is money versus currency, and that's why I'm trying to explain that we're mainly using currency now. And so this whole cryptocurrency is just fake stuff on the internet, like it doesn't really matter. I mean, that's literally what we're using right now, and on top of which, somebody in the government can just decide to print more of it whenever they want. Whereas Bitcoin and Ethereum, you can't do that. Like, that's not possible, okay? A lot less corruption, a lot less chance of destabilizing. And they're decentralized, so that's a big plus. But anyways, so ever since Nixon did that, he took us off the gold reserve standard, put us into fiat currency. Gold and silver will be the new age, like the new main currency for a lot of places when this big switch happens. But I think with the way blockchain technology is going, a lot more countries will adopt that standard and create their own token of sorts and go from there with it. So we'll see. Like I said in the video, it doesn't mention cryptocurrencies at all. Like, that's not even one of their words in the video. However, I personally can see that being the future direction. So I would recommend looking into that. Now, why? Because cryptocurrency, it is the currency of the internet. Like, it was natively born on the internet. If we look at Bitcoin, for example, it's been around for what, 11, 12 years at this point. It has been tested, it has withstanded those tests of time, and it's still going strong. Now, it has some kinks in it, obviously. Like, you're not going to be using Bitcoin to pay for a cup of coffee just because of how high the gas fees are. But if you're trying to transfer $1 million from one bank account to another, you can do that. It'll take about, a couple of minutes at most, maybe. Usually done in a few seconds, and the fees for that will be significantly less than they would be if you're ever going to use a real banking system or like a PayPal or anything like that. So I think, as far as being a hard currency, like a reserve currency, gold will absolutely take the cake. And then you have Ethereum, which is like your silver or kind of your dollar bill, a little bit of both, because what you can do with that is you can use that to buy a cup of coffee. And now I know what people are going to say instantly, oh, what are you talking about? The gas fees for one transaction on Ethereum are like $50 to $100 right now. They won't be. Ethereum Layer 2 is coming out, and when that happens, they're going to be taking themselves off the same kind of standards that Bitcoin is, that uses a shit ton of energy, it takes a long time to do, and there's high gas fees, to something that uses a lot less energy, in fact, pretty much none. It's almost the transaction fees are going to be pennies, if anything, and the time for them to happen will be significantly faster. It'll be able to handle a lot more transactions. So that's looking to come out in 2022. So as soon as that happens, then Ethereum will be what everyone uses as the actual currency. And on top of that, Ethereum has the smart contracts. So that's where you get into real decentralized heaven. So you got decentralized finance, or DeFi. You have decentralized exchanges, or DEX. So things like being able to just change the yuan or the dollar for cryptocurrency on an exchange. And all that decentralization, it gives the people the power back. Like, that's kind of what the United States was built on, is all of like the people having the power, and we have gotten so fucking far away from that. So this whole decentralization and cryptocurrency ever gives the chance for the people to have power again, because what is having power in today's day and age? It's having money and having control of it. That's why the United States is at the top right now, and that's why they probably won't be for much longer. I watch a lot of people online. I've been putting in a lot of hours of work, obviously, onto this, and I'm planning on doing more. But one guy that I've come across so far was the founder of a project called Hex. I think his name is Richard Hart, and he said something that I don't think could have been any more true. He said something along the lines of, getting cryptocurrency right, as of now, will be the single most important thing that you ever do in your life. Financially, of course, but probably overall. Like, how early we are right now, where there's only 140 million users and it's getting adopted at 2 times the speed of the internet, we will be over 1 billion users by 2024. I mean, what's 2010 or what 2030 gonna look like? Like, it's gonna be everything. So getting in now, getting educated now, and getting smart about this stuff now, while it's still early, while the teams are still getting warmed up to go out and play the game, could change your life. So hope you guys watched the video that I linked, that is down in the description or part of the Facebook post. If you have any questions, again, reach out, DM, get a hold of me somehow, and see you guys later. Take care.